Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 15 of English 200, 201, and 202. This week, we are going to be focusing on the fine art of revision in order to prepare for our portfolio assignment, which is coming up very soon, and it's worth 100 points. As a reminder, for your portfolio assignment, you need to if you're in English 200, you need to revise a poem, a creative nonfiction piece, and a fiction piece. And if you're in English 201 or 202, you'll need to revise 6 to 8 pieces in one genre. So those revisions are expected to be really intense. You're supposed to spend a lot of time working on revising those pieces. I'm going to begin by giving you some ideas on how to revise your poems. As always, please always focus on adding in sensory detail, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you feel, right? And being as specific as possible. Don't just tell us about a tree, tell us about what kind of tree it is. One way to work on revising your poem is to go through and underline all of the verbs in your poem, and then to come up with at least 5 or 6 replacement verbs for each verb that you've circled or underlined. Make a list of these and then try out some to see what you think. A lot of times we use really weak verbs in poems, like the verb to be. But verbs are really muscular words, and they can move your poem forward in a real positive way. Another way to think about your poem is to reduce each line by a few syllables. Think about, count all the syllables in your lines and try to make them consistent, or try to make them shorter or to make them longer. Think about what that does. Remember, if you make a line shorter, it's going to speed up the poem. If you make a line longer, it's going to slow down a poem. Insert a slit in the poem, somewhere in a line where you could add a metaphor or a simile as a way to really enhance what you're talking about. Find a place in your poem where you can correct yourself or you can contradict yourself. Type up, oh, sorry about my dog. Type up all of the, type up your poem, print it out, cut it up into line length pieces. Put those pieces together in a paper bag, shake it up, and then pull them out and rearrange your poem in the random order that they've come out as. See what that does to the meaning of your poem. You can also do something technical. A lot of the assignments, right? The first thing I want you to do when you work on your poem is to let go of the assignment that I gave you to write it. You don't have to stick with the assignment. You want to stick with what's best for the poem. You can use, and if I didn't assign you a form to work in, you can use something like a form to try to shape a poem in some way. Try the poem out in a form. If you're revising another type of genre, like a fiction piece or an essay, whenever you're revising, stay open. Don't stay really close to your first idea. Just say yes to everything. See what else jumps in while you're trying to revise, and be willing to disturb the story that you feel you already know. Maybe there's a role that you played in the story. Now you want to look at it from a different angle, especially if in the original story you were the victim. Understand that you're just a stand-in for the real subject. How can we get beyond our previous knowledge? Move the frame off dead center. And if you do, think about what other stories emerge through the cracks. What other stories might be connected to this story? You might get frustrated while you're trying to revise one of your pieces. You want to embrace that frustration. That means something's happening. You want to get weird, right? I say that over and over again, but the weirder you get, the more risks you take, the more exciting your piece can get. And you want to definitely override all of your inner censors. There is always going to be a voice in your head that says, you are not a good writer. What are you doing trying to write poetry? What are you doing trying to write fiction? What are you doing trying to write nonfiction? You can tell that inner censor to be quiet, okay? you can say other things too. Because I have an inner censor too, and I always tell that inner censor to be quiet so that I can do the work. Another thing you want to think about is ask yourself, why are you writing this particular piece right now? All right, so use those tips to revise one of your pieces and post it in the workshop. I'll come back to the extra credit. So this week we're going to be focusing almost entirely on revising and workshopping our work. For this discussion, please choose one piece that you originally submitted as a formal assignment in poetry, creative nonfiction, or fiction. Please review and revise your piece extensively. That means a lot, okay? Using the checklist found on page 18 for poetry, 76 for creative nonfiction, and 109 to 110 for fiction. Please also review what I said in this lecture and review the notes that I posted on your assignment. If I haven't yet provided notes on your assignment yet, then please email me right away and say, hey, Dr. Dunkel, please respond to this piece, and I will right away, okay? Once you significantly revise your draft, then please post it as a post in this discussion. Please introduce the piece to the class. Ask 2 or 3 questions that you have about revising it as well. And then please note, workshopping works best if you choose a piece that you want to work on, not one that you think is already finished. After you've posted your piece, please read and respond to at least 6 of your peers' posts. Please provide both positive and negative feedback. So constructive feedback, ways that they can really improve their piece in your opinion, okay? Your piece is due on Friday. Post your own piece by Friday, 11:59 p.m., your revised piece. And then your responses to your peers' posts are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now, there is extra credit available this week. It's tomorrow, so hopefully you've watched this lecture already. You need to attend, it's on campus, Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:30 in the community room. I'm going to be giving a reading with 2 other poets. And if you attend and you write a 1 to 2 page response paper where you talk about several of the poems that were read and you email it to me, you get 10 points extra credit. Okay? That's it for this week, you guys. I look forward to seeing you online.